Falcon fans, and of course, the Falcon fans. You already know what it is. You already know what to do. It's your boy Jack Spade. One time for the fan. T Will is here in the building. Episode 199. We are moving in the right direction here, Falcon fans. So big shout out to everybody here in the chat. Apple Podcast, Spotify Podcast, Amazon Podcast. T Will is going down in a major way. How is everything going for you, sir?
Hey, man, it's going great, Jack. It's going great. The good Lord woke me up today, thanking for my family. Get a chance to come on here and talk Falcons. And not only talk Falcons, but, Jack, from what I can tell, we have some new subscribers. So I am excited to get to know them and meet them. And, of course, we have our existing subscribers, which we just love. So I'm excited to be here to talk Falcons football, man. It's great. We got this thing going and growing, and it's just getting greater and greater, man. So with that, I defer to you, sir.
Oh man, Falcon fans, it's crazy right now. So definitely hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe button. Back talking Falcons football. We had a busy week. Let's see. We had that podcast on Sunday. Then of course we had a pop-up show the other night with Berto and Smitty and Chris A1, and of course Chase was in there too as well. Dirty Fanatics United, but
Chase,
we had an opportunity to talk Falcons football on a night that we're normally not scheduled to talk Falcons football. But when we want to talk football with you all, like sometimes we just can't wait. You know what I'm saying? So I got off work late that evening, and Berto gave me a call. He was like, "Man, you trying to go live real quick?" I was like, "Well." I got about 10 or 15 minutes, and then 10 or 15 minutes turned into like almost an hour and a half, right?
Yes,
so
I think it was almost 2 hours.
It was close to, it was almost close to 2 hours, I think so. Yeah. But it's good when you got Falcon fans that you can just, chop it up with a lot when it goes to what the team is doing.
It's great.
A positive outlook for the team. Of course, we do hope that the team is going to get things back on track this season, of course, with Kirk and the rookies, and of course some of the free agents that they brought in this year. So we've been doing this for a while here on One Time for the Fan, but the show the other night was great to talk Falcons football with everybody. So wherever you're checking in from, big shout out to you all. We do have a lot of new subscribers here on the channel. It was crazy. I think we had over 100 or something that one night. So big shout out to everybody here in the chat, man. Want to say thank you all. Welcome to One Time for the Fan. Die-hard Atlanta Falcon fans, big shout out to Bodie, big shout out to Chase. They're not here tonight. And our newest podcaster who will be joining us here in the offseason will be on a podcast coming up soon. So big shout out to everybody that's talking Atlanta Falcons football here in the chat. Deshaun's in the chat. He said, "What's up, one-timers? Question, Country Grammar was released by which hip-hop group or artist?" Yeek.
Oh, wow. That's going to be Mr. Nelly.
Nelly, man.
Nelly,
man.
Come on, Deshaun. Now, you came with it the other day. You got to do a little bit,
See, Deshaun thinks it's Bodie in here. When me and Bodie was in here, he would get us a few times. You know what I'm saying? But I had to give it up to T Will. T Will is definitely on point with his old school hip hop.
Maybe he's doing me a favor because I'm old, right? So shout out to you, Deshaun. Maybe he's doing me a favor because I'm old. I mean, making me feel better about it, because if you start talking about some of these young cats, man, we have to get my son on here for that. Half of them, I go by what he tells me.
Talking Future and Gunner and Kendrick Lamar and all this new stuff now.
No, I know them. I know them. I'm talking about like the other guys. I'll hear some guy.
The Ken Carsons and the Destroy Lonelys and some of the artists you might not know about.
I'll hear some guy and I'll go to my son. Is he whatever? And he'll be like, "Oh, daddy's great," or "Oh, daddy's trash." That's how I judge, through my son's eyes. What up, Ernest? How we doing, man?
Falcon fans, hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe. If you're checking in YouTube, Facebook, head on over to YouTube. Schedule releases in a week, right? So we'll get a chance to have a big podcast next week that we will talk about here on the channel later on tonight. But the schedule release is coming up next week. We have some Rise Up Tour fan club members that's going to be joining us. Thomas Scott, my good friend who helped start the Rise Up Tour with me too as well, is going to be joining us next week. And he is excited to come talk Falcons football. Of course, the schedule release is big for fans, season ticket holders. So all the season ticket holders in the chat too as well, drop your sections in the chat. We love repping our sections here in the chat. But it's big for the fans that love to travel to the away games and that love to be at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium for the home games too as well. T. Will. So with the schedule release next week, we already know the teams that we're playing. We just don't know the dates and the times. But I'm guessing a primetime game or two, or three or four. You never know. Hell, and that really big primetime game is that fucking Super Bowl. That's what we're trying to get to, right? So big shout out to the Falcons this year. They have an exciting schedule that we will talk about. We're going to do some breaking the ice here in a minute, too. Carrie is
Hey, Carrie.
Carrie. Falcons fam, happy Wednesday. Let's get it. Exactly 1 week until the schedule release.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited. Let's do it. I can't wait.
Falcons going to play week 1 at home, or they're going to play on the road against Tampa, or all these, mock schedules that people keep putting out. We don't need to worry about it next week, y'all. It's going to be over. And the Falcons social media team, I'm sure they're going to put together a nice video. They've been doing a great job with that in the past. Social media is big when it comes to that schedule release. I mean, the Chargers have been getting some crazy love, too, as well, with some of their schedule release videos they put out. And every team just tries to be better than the other team when it comes to some of the schedule release videos. I remember in the past, the Falcons mocked the Saints on the infamous no call. And then they put it on their schedule release for the following season. So what the Falcons will do this year, I don't know, but we are a week away from it. And, of course, we're going to have a live podcast to talk about it here on the channel. T-Will, chat is live. Chat is lit. Have you ever been to F1, T-Will?
Jack, I have not. I have not been to F1.
Never been to F1?
Can you tell our subscribers and our listeners and our potential new subscribers what F1 is?
So F1 is this, it's this like Formula One series that they have, and of course they've been doing it over here in the States. They've had a couple of races, I think, in Vegas, one in LA, and they had one in Miami too as well recently, where tickets, of course, are expensive, and of course, it's like a festival of, fans that love to go down there and watch Indy NASCAR, kind of in a way, right? And it's kind of cool because with this Grand Prix that they're doing, I've always wanted to go to one too as well, right? So I've kind of prepared myself for maybe in a year or two getting a chance to go check out what this F1 Grand Prix is. But then again, I saw some of the prices the other day. Of some of the food that they had that they were serving out at the restaurant there, the concession stands. It kind of caught my eye because it's something most fans do not expect. So let me go ahead and pull this up here real quick.
Yeah, let's share it with our audience.
This is
Formula One.
Formula One. This is crazy. Watch this.
Definitely not the cheeseburger and beer crowd, I take it. Sheesh. Oh, wow.
Oh, we ain't talking about no cheeseburger and beer.
$280 for lobster rolls?
Yo, you're not talking about cheeseburgers, French fries, and hot dogs over here at the F1. And no, this is not Photoshop, Falcon fans in the chat. So if you're ever planning on going to F1, these are some of the prices. For the main lobster rolls, is $280 for the main lobster roll.
Rolls. Hey,
the yellowfin tuna poke is $170. The U5 chilled prawn is $290.
Wow.
You want some caviar?
A fruit refresher is $190. Oh, yep. Wow.
Yep. Wow. Oh, you want it warm too? You get them steam bun for $120. That F1 platter. What do we got? The A1 sliders, the secret sauce, the ribeye quesadilla, the chipotle sauce, the crispy chicken tenders and honey mustard for $300.
Wow. So hey,
get some crispy chicken tenders at the F1.
Jack, what food would you pay $280 for?
I wouldn't pay for none of this shit. I'd probably go to Wendy's before I stop in here.
The only thing I'd pay $280 for, it would be a steak from Ruth's Chris, because it's delicious and it's outstanding. If you've never been to Ruth's Chris, I would invite you to go. It's the best steak I've ever had in my life. I think there were tears in my eyes, Jack. But anyway.
So if I'm planning on going to a restaurant, yes, I can understand if you're going to like Chops or one of those places where you're going to be spending a good little amount on some food. I think we can't remember that restaurant we went to in LA for that Falcons game that time, but there are some restaurants out there where, of course, it is some pricey food. But the F1,
yeah, that's crazy.
Is serving this.
That's crazy.
I mean, we went to Rolling Loud a couple of years ago, and I mean, the prices over there were kind of crazy. But this right here, $290 for for some crispy chicken tenders and some honey. They put the honey mustard on the damn menu. They put the honey mustard on there.
Yeah, I think underneath that should be captioned for millionaires only, right? Or you know, I'm just saying. But hey, Jack, you know what? I know a place. I know a stadium. I know some games where the food is really, really economical. Do you know what I'm talking about, Jack?
So if you're going over what F1 is serving over here for fans that showed up to this event, just imagine for the fans that show up to the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, because the food at the stadium is the cheapest in the NFL. So you got, I think they can serve a family of 4 or 5 for less than $25 there at the stadium. So for Falcon fans that's traveling to a game this year, be prepared to not spend too much. Parking will get you now. You might want to get your parking early in advance. And I'm trying to give Falcon fans the tips. So if you're traveling to a game this year, and there is a lot of first timers here in the chat. I know we got our season ticket holders. I know they know the routine, but there's a lot of first timers in the chat. So who's tagging me in this group? So for fans that's traveling from out of town for the first game, if you're Ubering, of course, it's going to be surged and so forth on the prices. But if you're going to be parking at the stadium, parking is a little bit expensive. So get your parking passes online early. But when you get into the stadium, food is hella cheap, right? And they have a different variety of food that you can get, from the 100 level to the 200 level to the 300 level. So just to break the ice here on the channel, what they're serving at F1, I would never pay for that. But going to the Mercedes-Benz, T-Will, and I'm sure you'll see it too as well, man. The Mercedes-Benz prices is amazing when it comes to family friendly.
Oh yeah. Last time I went, I think I bought 4 hot dogs. I didn't pay $20. So I mean, that's unheard of. So
I will say, when I went to the AT&T Stadium for the Cowboys Falcons game a couple years ago, Jerry World is real. I think it was what I had some brisket nachos and a bottle of water. I think came up to like $42 or some shit.
Wow.
So I was like, yeah, this is the last time I'm ever eating here. And then, of course, our team was losing on the field. So spent my money disappointingly that day. But yeah, Falcon fans, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. It's going down in a major way. We do have a lot to talk about tonight. Ricky Smith is in the chat. Kerry is in the chat. Sterling Woods is in the chat. You said, and you can't bring your own food inside of there. That's how they get you at those F1 spots. Now, Rolling Loud, I will say, it was crazy at Rolling Loud because I saw some jokers. They had the bottles taped to their chest, like the bottles of Jack Daniels or E&J or whatever.
Wow!
They had the bottles taped to their chest, and it was wearing like sweaters, or it was wearing like shirts. So when they walked through the security gates, they just picked their shirt up and pulled the alcohol out. And I was like, oh shit, that's kind of crafty. I mean, they got everything in there, you know what I'm saying? But for like the food and drinks and everything that you're gonna spend, just imagine that was the food that we showed, right? Let me show the picture again. That was the food. Just imagine how much they charging for the drinks.
Wow.
None of this shit say nothing about no drink on there. Oh, I mean the fruit refresher, but this might be just a plate full of damn fruit, chopped up.
Yeah,
for $200.
A bottle of water is probably $50 at least.
Man, come on! And this is the bites. This is the quick bites.
Yeah, that's crazy.
This is the value meal.
That's
F1.
Crazy.
You are out of your mind for these prices.
Absolutely.
I'm
gonna call unnecessary roughness. Unnecessary roughness on the pockets of Americans. F1. Shame on you.
Hold on now.
Capitalism in this is highway robbery.
Hold on, ref.
Love it.
Hold on, ref. You can't call unnecessary.
Love it.
Hold on, ref.
Yeah.
Hold on, ref.
Unnecessary roughness on Formula One restaurant.
You gotta calm it down over there, ref. You gotta calm it down. Falcon fans in the chat, know you're live and know you're lit. Let's get to the chat. Big shout out to Sterling Woods. Look, big shout out to everybody in the chat. I know we have a lot of new subscribers, so everybody who's been here since day one, welcome to new subscribers. You might see some new faces in the chat. We're talking Falcons football. We do not talk negative about the team, right? We crack some jokes.
We don't.
But we ain't being negative about the team. We don't play the game, right? But we know football. We know Falcons football. We know what's going on in the NFL. We know what's going on around the Falcons and with the Falcons. So we talk about the Falcons 24/7. Yeah, we chop it up on some Braves, Hawks, United, the Georgia Bulldogs, all the other stuff. But we talk Atlanta, go Dogs, but we talk Atlanta Falcons football. Ricky Smith is in the chat. You know we love going to the chat as well. So bring your questions, bring your comments. Most shows is supposed to be an hour, but T-Will, you know what happens. We usually go over an hour. Then when we have a special guest, we got to call out for work the next day because most times we're in here 2-3 hours. If Scott Karisic is in the chat or if he joins the podcast.
Yeah, if Scott's here, we're going to be here for 3 hours.
Yeah, Scott is he tells me, okay, let's try to get it done in like an hour talking Falcons. All right, cool. 2-3 hours later, we haven't even got to the offensive line. We haven't even got to our last question with Scott, and we're still talking Falcons football. That's what happens when you have people that believe in the team.
Yeah,
people that believe in the organization. T-Will?
Yeah, Scott loves it. Scott loves the Falcons. Scott loves this. Hey, Lisa, what's going on, Miss Shepard?
Mr. Shepard, who was with us, man. The other day too as well.
Yeah, if Scott wanted to, man, he probably could talk 4 or 5 hours of this. I mean, he gets after it, man. I'll give him that. He gets it, and he knows what he's talking about. He really does.
Falcon fans, check out the Falcons fan talk. We have a lot of special guests that we've had on the podcast. We've had Block and Dirty journalists too as well. We've had journalists from Fox 5 here on the channel. We've had some who else? Some people from 92.9 here on the channel. We had John Michaels from 680 The Fan here on the channel. So big shout out to everybody that's been here representing one time for the fans. So definitely check out the Falcons fan talk playlist over on YouTube because we definitely want to make sure everybody gets some love here on the channel. Lisa Shepard, who was one of our most recent special guests here on the channel, talk from Falcons football from Blog and Dirty. You have to go check her out too as well for what she has going on over there at Blog and Dirty. And you know, ATL Lisa is a diehard Atlanta Falcon fan. She keeps it real on social media. I'm sure a lot of you all have probably seen her at a home game or away game or training camp because Lisa is a real one, right? So big shout out to Lisa in the chat. Carlo Wiggins.
Very positive as well. Very positive, very real, but you know, keeps it that way. What up, Carlo?
Carlo's in the chat. Coy Bishop's in the chat. Say, hey, rise up, damn it.
Rise up, damn it.
Lisa Shepard's in the chat. So I'm ready to book my trips. Come on, schedule. 1 week away. This time next week, I know a lot of fans will probably be booked because the schedule will be out. The Falcon social media video will probably be out at that time too as well. So I know fans are going to try to book for away games or they might be flying to Atlanta. If you do want to be a part of what we have going on the road, man, it's going to be crazy. Like, just knowing that we're a week away, now I can actually get these things taken care of. I know Thomas, I know the team, everybody at the RISEUP Tour fan club, they're doing a great job. So big shout out to everybody who's going to be traveling to some away games this year too as well. Sterling Wood said at least one primetime game. I think two. Did we get two?
I'm going to go 3. I'm going 3, Jack. And I'm all about the revenge, baby. I'm all about the revenge. What do you mean revenge, T-Will? Well, let me tell you what I'm talking about. I'm talking about one Arthur Smith with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm talking about one Dan Quinn with the Commanders. And I'm talking about Baby Come Back and Kirko Chains and the Minnesota Vikings. All 3 of them. Look at the storylines, man. Storylines are crazy. I mean, Pittsburgh, Sierra, and Russ against Atlanta and Future. Can't you see it? It's a home game? Definitely.
Lisa Shepard, did you tune in for Fontenot's presser today? If so, thoughts? So the funny thing about it was I was at work today and I missed the presser. But I also had to hit my rep up tomorrow because they sent me the link late too as well. So I'm like, what type of shit is this? But yeah, I was at work. I was busy today. But no, I missed the presser, but I'm probably going to find a way to get a chance to watch it or hear it. Again, Falcon fans in the chat, but we did get a chance to watch the new Falcons on the Rise video that they had talking about the draft. And we're going to get to that in a minute because for the fans that do not understand what happens at the draft, you got a chance to see the recent episode of what is going on behind the scenes. And for fans that are like, you got to draft this guy. You got to draft this guy. We mocked him. Like, there's a reason why the Falcons are really good at what they do scouting. Right. And we heard the comments of what he said about Brandon Trice. And we're going to get to that too as well in a couple of minutes. The chat is already lit. I already know getting to these comments could take up the entire show. But that's what One Time for the Fan is all about. Was the Falcons fans here get a chance to speak on the platform because they know they love talking Falcons football. Carrie's in the chat. She said, if I don't make it to the Saints away game in the regular season, you know I'll be there for the Super Bowl when the Dirty Birds play. That's right, Falcon fans. We're playing twice in New Orleans next year. We have to play them on the regular season, and we have to play in the Super Bowl down there at the Super Dump. So be prepared for that, Falcons fans. We're already thinking ahead. Schedule release day is the NFL social media team's time to shine. I know the Falcons. Come on, man. You guys got this. You could be number one. The Chargers is killing it with that anime stuff they're doing. They're doing a lot of Dragon Ball Z and Naruto type of stuff in the past, and they've kind of shocked some fans of what they can do. Kerry said F1 has become so popular. I've actually never watched it. I've seen the concession prices are insane. I wonder if the admission tickets are just as crazy. Terry, I'm guessing the admission prices got to be stupid.
Probably
it's got to be. You're not charging $10, $15 tickets to go in there to have $280 lobster roll and $300 pineapple skewers or whatever the shit is. I don't know. Terrell Johnson said, "Rise up, fellas.
Rise up."
Tiffany Mac Geo's in the chat. Big shout out to Tiffany Mac Geo. Drake True Statements in the chat. What's going on? One time for the fan. How y'all feeling this evening? We in here ordering food. Sheesh. Nah, man. We talking about what's going on with F1. We ain't gonna order that shit. There ain't no DoorDash.
No, definitely not. I wish Ruth Chris was though. Boy, love it.
That damn sure ain't no DoorDash.
Tell you what, that's my last Ruth Chris statement or reference for the night. But they are delicious. Fans. Just saying.
It's going down in a major way. Big shout out to MacTown Dirty in the chat. Big shout out to Adrian Holmes in the chat. Y'all want prime time with Kirko? Yep.
Kirko.
Yep.
Yeah, we do.
Yep.
Yeah, we do, Adrian.
Sure do. Sure damn do. He's doing the damn Kirko dance. If you're giving me a primetime game for Kirko versus anybody, I want to see him versus the Vikings definitely at an away game.
That's the baby comeback.
You got to see it. Falcons are playing the Vikings this year in Minnesota. Kirk just left the Vikings. We're going to talk about that in a minute too as well, because there is a little bit of revenge bowl going on there too as well.
Yeah.
Right?
I know you want to leave me, but I refuse to let you go.
Shit. That's tough. Falcon fans, hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe button. T-Will, how you doing, man? Everything good?
I'm doing well, man. Hey, I got a question for you, Jack.
What's up, man?
What player on offense or defense for the Falcons, and what's up, MacTown? What player do you think is going to have the breakout season? So who is that for you? So on offense and on defense, what player that maybe last season was on the cusp can you see just finally breaking through that barrier and having just an outstanding season? One for offense, one for defense.
One for offense, one for defense.
Yes, sir.
All right. Let me go ahead and bring up my offensive player real quick. Falcon fans, hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe button. We're talking Falcons football. Every Sunday at 8, every Wednesday at 8, Friday mornings, 9 a.m. breakfast with one time for the fan. Offensive breakout player, there he is.
Drake London. Okay.
There he is.
I can dig it. Who's your defensive guy?
Who's our defensive guy?
And why? So yeah, additional component. Why do you feel that Drake is the one on offense that will have the breakout season? Like, what are the details?
He has a quarterback.
Okay.
He has a quarterback who has been very well at getting the ball to his number one receiver.
Okay.
And with Drake London coming off of the past 2 years, playing with Mariota, playing with Ritter, then Heineke, you saw sometimes, and this is no shot at how Drake was feeling, on the field, but you can see sometimes he was upset because he was open, or there was positions where Ritter didn't hit him correctly. Heineke didn't get him the ball. You can see it. Falcon fans were talking about it, right? You can see some of the videos. You can see some of the highlights. Like, even during the interceptions, you can see it's like, damn, man. Like, I mean, all players get upset. But there were times where Drake London was open and he didn't get the ball. This year, everybody's talking about the shining of Kyle Pitts and, of course, Rondo Moore. And we haven't talked about Drake London much on the channel, but Kirk has to hit his number one receiver.
Okay.
And that is Drake London. So my outstanding breakout player this year is going to be Drake London, I think, on offense. And big shout out to every player for the Atlanta Falcons. But Drake London is the guy on offense that I'm looking for.
I can dig it.
Who you got on offense, T-Will?
Well, on offense, I'm going to say Mr. Darnell Mooney.
Darnell Mooney?
Because
Sheesh.
according to our coaching staff and a few numbers that I saw, he gets the second most separation in the league.
Mm-hmm.
What up, Bobby D? So he's always open. He's like Waffle House, man. He's always open, right? So if he's always open, I hear you. I see you, Crimson. If he's always open, right, like Waffle House, then Kirk's going to give him the ball. So, and not that Drake isn't going to have a sensational season. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying when I think of breakout, I think of the year before you did this, this year you did this, right? I'm going to say that's going to be Darnell Mooney because you're not going to be able to double team everybody, and if this guy can get separation and in this offense, I think Kirk's going to give him the ball, and he can flat out fly. So there's that. So yeah. He's my guy for offense. What say you about our defensive standout this year? Who do you think it's going to be and why?
Defensive standout for this year. Falcon fans, hit that like button. Oh my gosh, that rum and coke is going crazy. Hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button. If you're on Twitter, you might want to tag them, right? And we've given him a lot of shout outs here on the channel before, but as a diehard Atlanta Falcon fan, I've seen this young man shine a lot since he's been here, right? And that's D. Alford. D.
Alford, right? What's up, now, D?
D. Alford probably is. I don't even know if he's online playing Madden or something, but he is probably could be the number 2 here, which some fans have talked about. It could be Antonio Hamilton. It could be Kevin King. Even some fans have even talked about bringing in a cornerback with a couple of spots that they have left on the roster before camp starts. But my defensive player that I think is going to be shining this year, and everybody's talking about Arnold Ebiketie. Everybody's talking about, of course, these rookies, Nate Landman, Grady Jarrett. And I got to give a big shout out to all the defensive players. Jesse Bates, too, as well. But you got to look at that secondary. You got to look at the cornerbacks, man. You got to think, who could they put beside A.J. Terrell that can get the job done, right? And D. Alford has worked his way up the ranks here since the past 2 years. And I think D. Alford, he's also on this last year. Of course, he's probably going to have to get the bag this year. You got to pay the man, because I need to see D. Alford in Atlanta for a very long time, right? He's smart a cornerback player. He's a very smart player. You see him working out right now in the offseason, Falcon fans. So I think he could be the cornerback 2 here.
Yeah, has good instincts, very high football IQ. Knows the scenario, can play to it. So I would agree with that. Crimson says Arnold Ebiketie.
Which is very much, it's very possible it could be Arnold Ebiketie too as well.
It could be. My pick for defense is probably going to be somebody that nobody expects, but I'm going to say Kentavious Street. And I'm going to say that because we have so many our defensive line, in my opinion, is the most improved unit in the league. I didn't say the best in the league. I said the most improved, but they're going to be up there. And with Grady and David Onyemata and everybody else we got, I just think Kentavious, if healthy, is going to take that step forward. He looked great last year. And I think he's only going to step forward and be better. And that's not to say that who's our guy? London's no. Who's the other guy on the defensive line? You talk about him all the time. There's Kentavious Street.
David Onyemata. You have Grady Jarrett. You have
name begins with an L. What's his name?
Lakel London.
Yeah, Lakel. Yeah. He was decent. But I just feel like
it's a tough battle for London in that 53 right now.
Oh, without a doubt. Somebody's not going to make it. But I think with Grady coming back, with Onyemata coming back, with Eddie Goldman coming back, I just looking at the improvement and the trajectory, I just think Kentavious Street is he's going to go crazy. He's going to go crazy and leaps and bounds. And didn't Kirk request him?
Yeah, Kirk did request Mooney.
Oh, he's talking about Mooney. Okay. Yeah. You're right, Ricky. You're right. And
for some strange reason, me and Kerry had the same 2 players.
You do. But that's okay, Kerry, because you know what? We had the same scenario that played out. Ha!
Sheesh.
No, just kidding. Anyway,
Carrie
she
must be in
knows
the
what I'm
chat.
talking about.
Hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe button. Drake, your statements here. Richie would be more of a comeback, so I'm exchanged to Harrison. So Zach Harrison is a player who can have a breakout year this year. If Richie Grant is on this 53, he could have a breakout year. Some would say DeMarco Hellams. Look at the snap count he got towards late in the end of the year. It could be him. Nate Landman. Look at these players that we can think they can have a breakout year because they've been so productive in the past year or the past 2 years, right? We're naming D. Alford. Some would say Zoe Carter, right? Some wouldn't, but some would say.
Or Troy Anderson.
Troy Anderson too as well. Welcome back, Troy Anderson, coming off of the injury, because you definitely want to see him shine. But the signing of J.D. Bertram as a rookie coming out of the draft this year shows that they're probably going to play this guy a lot this year. You heard Terry in that video the other day talking about he's a 4-down guy, right? So if he does get a chance to fit into the scheme the way that they want him to, you see a lot of J.D. Bertram this year, and I'm all for it. Mm-hmm. I'm all for it. Carrie's in the chat say can't wait to have Grady back.
That's right. That's right. I think I just think our linebacking core, honestly, man, I think our front seven is probably one of the best in the league. And I don't know why I'm gonna knock on wood when I say that, but
she just had to take a drink on that.
I just think our front seven is really good, man. I mean, look at we got Landman, right? Mm-hmm. We got Ellis. We got Troy Anderson coming back. You throw in the rookie and our defensive line. I think people are really underestimating this defense. And we haven't even gotten to the guys we added via the draft. But I'm thinking about what Berto said the other day. And he has a point. I still say we're going to be a top 10 offense. But I think our defense is going to be very good. I really do. After just thinking about it, looking at the picks we got, if we can remain healthy, we can do some damage. But, that's me. Speaking of damage and
check your statements in the chat.
What's up, Dre? Do you think Kirk is going to be playing with a chip on his shoulder? And I bring it up because rumor has it, or at least a couple of articles that we saw this week, essentially said that Kirk, one of the reasons Kirk left is because the Vikings, were drafting a new quarterback. Ironic that we did the same thing. But do you think that because the Falcons did take Michael Penix at the 8th pick, do you think that's going to give Kirk some motivation? You think he's going to play with a chip on his shoulder? How do you feel about that? What say you, Jack?
Falcon fans, hit that like, share, and subscribe button in the chat. Tag your Falcons friends. Tell your Falcons family. Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts. Sipping light tonight. So big shout out to the rum and coke over here. Got that Appleton Estate that we're sipping on straight from Jamaica. But for Falcon fans here in the chat, Terry, we talked the other night with Berto, and of course the panel too as well. Big shout out to everybody that was on the panel, Smitty and everybody. Kurt, the situation with the Vikings telling Kurt that they were going to draft a quarterback. Kirk leaves, comes to Atlanta. Falcons go out and draft a quarterback. I don't think it's much so a chip on his shoulder. I think every quarterback in the NFL has to understand that this is a business. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, though they might say, oh, nobody has ever done this in the history of the NFL. Well, the Falcons just did it. So now we've done it. I have no problem with it. And if Kirk is a professional, because I'm a professional fan, I must say. But if Kirk is a professional at what he does, then he doesn't play with that chip on his shoulder. He just goes out there and he plays like Kirk Cousins. But you got to play better. You're in a situation where Kirk wants to win. Right? Absolutely. Kirk wants to win. Drake London wants to win. Kyle Pitts wants to win. Rondell Moore wants to win. Grady Jarrett wants to win. And Kirk.
Grady Jarrett definitely wants to win.
And Kirk has a big position to fill this year. I mean, as a quarterback, because we've been on the bad side of having the quarterback past 2 years. Mm-hmm. Falcon fans said, I'm not against Falcon fans. NFL fans said, oh, they're a quarterback away. They're a quarterback away. Well, we went to go get 2 of them. That's pretty damn good. Kirk Cousins is pretty damn good. Look at the numbers. Look at the stats. Michael Penix coming out of college is pretty damn good. Now you can hear the numbers and you can see all these journalists talk about he was ranked damn near number 2 quarterback to come out.
Agree, Mac.
Which makes me feel good because 3, 4, or 5 years from now, as a fan of the Falcons, I know that if it's not Kirk Cousins, it's going to be Michael Penix. So I'm cool at what the quarterback position has done for me as a fan, knowing that we're going to be straight. And then to hear on the behind the scenes video how hard it is to trade up, how hard it is to make these moves that all these fans kept saying you got to do. It's very difficult to make those moves. And they know in the future it could be difficult to get a quarterback trying to trade up or trying to play that draft role again. So get the guy now. And they did. Fans are shocked. We are not.
You know, I don't know if he'll play with the chip on his shoulder or not. I can give you my experience, right? Every team I played on, I'm not big. I'm 5'9". I would always start third string and somehow wind up first string. I'm talking rec leagues now. This is long after high school, but the point is, I did play with the chip on my shoulder. I very much did. You what? Watch this, and so I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing if he does. I know, Kerry. I don't think it's a bad thing if he does play with the chip on his shoulder because, let's be honest. All this smoke that we're hearing from his agent, some of it has to be true. Wouldn't you think, Jack? When you think some of it's true? When you think maybe he got a little perturbed? I mean, that's again, to your point, he's a professional. We're never going to hear it from him. He is the consummate professional, the consummate leader.
We're going to hear the full conversation between him and his agent. Did they talk about, was there cursing involved? Were they throwing glass bottles at
Probably so.
Come on.
Probably flipped the table or two. Like what? And guess what? That's okay. Jack, I flip tables. You never flip tables playing spades? I do. I sure do. You let my wife tell me she got 4 and she only makes 2. And I said we're going 8 books. I'm going to be upset. Okay, no, I'm not going to. Before you guys start, I'm not going to flip a table if my wife is playing. Now, if my brother-in-law is playing, I'm going to flip a table. Yes, I am, because he can deal with it. But anyway, no, back to business. I think it's okay if Kirk has a chip on his shoulder. It's okay to come out and have something to prove. I want to win a championship, and I'm going to let all y'all know I'm Kirk O'Chains, damn it. You paid me $100 million guaranteed for a reason. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Does it mean it's true? It's probably somewhere in the middle. He probably is, because let me tell you something. If the Vikings had offered him $180 million, I'm sure he would have taken it from them and been just fine with them drafting a quarterback. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you took the deal. This was a possibility. It is what it is. We're here now. But I think Kirk will be fine. I think because he's been in this scenario before with RG3, and they straight up told him when he came in the league, hey, man, we plan to trade you. And you know what he did? He came in, played his rear off, and created a position for himself. He made them make a decision. I think he's going to do the same thing here. I think knowing Kirk, or not knowing Kirk, but knowing of Kirk and his mindset, he probably is thinking, I'm going to be here for 4 years, and I'm going to show them why they need me for 4 years, and here we go. So, yeah, do I think he's going to have a chip on his shoulder? No, but I definitely think he's going to be motivated, Jack.
The cool thing about it, Terry, is as everybody else talks about it here on the podcast, we can talk about it. But for fans here in the chat, y'all know how we're going to react to it. Kirk is now. Michael Penix Jr. is later.
Yeah.
It's just that simple. Am I right?
Yep.
Just how easy it is. Falcon fans, hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe button. I want to let everybody know here that that Falcons draft video that they put out the other day, it was amazing. Right. And it really puts you in the perspective of what is going on behind the scenes at the draft. And for fans that was looking at their mock saying, why didn't they get this guy? Why didn't they get this guy? I mean, just look at what was going on with the Braylon Trice situation. It looks as if the Falcons tried to trade up again, or they was calling around just to see what was going on. And even Terry mentioned about Braylon Trice saying, I told you. Well, he was worried at first, and Raheem turned to him and was like, "Hey, man, settle down, like chill, like relax." And Terry's kind of looking over there. He's like, "Oh man, I hope they don't pick him. I hope they don't pick him." And then when it got to the Falcons pick, of course Terry was happy. Of course Terry was happy because he turned to the team and he said, "I told y'all he was going to be there." So for Falcon fans that look at their draft boards and look at why some of these players would be good fits for the Falcons, I mean, Braylon Trice was a guy that we had even on some of our mocks that we talked about in our chats, Terry.
Yeah.
Scott Karisic had talked about it too as well.
Yep.
Alberto had talked about it too as well. Smitty and them had talked about it too as well. A lot of Falcon fans had talked about Braylon Trice in the later rounds. And of course, the Falcons drafted him. Rook Aurora too as well. How excited they were to select Rook, where fans were like, "Why didn't you trade up and go get the kid from Illinois? Go get this guy." Now you see watching those Falcons videos why they do what they do. And I kept saying on the podcast, if any fan here was to step into that war room for one draft with the Falcons and step out of that war room, you would have a totally different look of how the Falcons draft versus all these mocks and what people put out. But the mocking is fun. That's the cool thing about it, because people do their research on these players, right? And they look at these guys and say, this would be a good fit. Berto is psyched over the fact that he called that Brandon Dorless guy almost a year ago, I believe it was, or earlier this year, right? And he was doing some film on him. And now that the guy is a Falcon, that he's done his research, right? So big shout out for Berto for doing that, because I'm big on watching the dogs. I'm big on watching college football too as well. But I promise going forward for next year, we're going to be well in tune with what's going on with college football on a more podcast level, so that way I can find out who would be a really good fit here for the Falcons. I love when they throw the names out there and we can do the mocks. We can talk about the players, who's the fit coming closer to the draft. But I'm just not in depth with the third string cornerback from Illinois. You know what I'm saying? Or the second string wide receiver at LSU. You know what I'm saying? But there are some people that's really in depth with that stuff. There's draft analysts that go out there and they've studied this stuff. And then there are people in the Falcons community that do a very good job studying this stuff too as well. So I give a big shout out to them. But next year, we're going to be real in depth with that college football stuff. Hell, we might even go down to the Senior Bowl. Terry, go watch some damn college football there in Mobile.
You know, my biological father's from Mobile. Eric is from Mobile. Wait, I don't know if all right. Our family's from Mobile. I don't know if Eric was born there, but I know our family's from there. So,
sheesh. Look at Lisa Shepard's in the chat. You got the soundboard. Budget is up. Oh my God.
Can we go back to Jeff's question? Jeff had a statement or question, something, and I wanted to.
Jeff Wolf?
Yeah, if I wanted to speak to. He said something. It was.
Jeff Wolf's probably going to tag me in a minute. Let's see here what we got. Jeff Wolf. Chat is live. Chat is lit. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button, Falcons fans. It's good to see everybody. Lisa Shepard, Carla Wickens, Coy Bishop, Carrie, Tiffany Mack.
We got the soundboard, Miss Lisa. Yeah, we did.
Little something. Where's Jeff Wolf?
State Farm got it.
Jeff Wolf, where your comment at? What they need to do is update StreamYard so I can just type the name in and it just pops up there.
And you can search for it or something. Yeah. So you know what, Jeff? That's a good point. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. But if he stays, right? Because this is a good squad. And I think Eddie knows that, but again, to your point, you don't know. He could bail it. He could be the the wedding. What was that movie? The wedding chaser. The wedding. What was it?
Wedding Crasher.
Runaway Bride. The Runaway Bride. He could be the runaway nose tackle. I don't know. Maybe third time's the charm, Jeff. I don't know, but I mean, we'll see. But
you try to have confidence in the guy who's. I mean, Kevin King's been in that kind of situation too as well. So I don't know if he's going to make the 53, but let's just say Eddie does make the 53. You have a lot of players in the NFL that know old Eddie Goldman, because we haven't seen
old
new
Eddie
Goldman yet.
Eddie Kang. No, but seriously, look, if Eddie doesn't make it, we're fine. I mean, this is 1 year looking at this defensive line. Eddie would be lucky to be a member. If he doesn't make it, that's fine.
We haven't talked about Eddie much on the channel, except for when the Falcons did announce that they have re-signed him. But if, like Terry just said, if he doesn't make the 53, it's not going to hurt most fans in the chat. They're going to say, well, we kind of expected that.
Right.
Like even Drake True statements in the chat. Goldman bailed twice, actually. So
he did.
For fans that know what's going on with Eddie Goldman, I mean, this is an opportunity for him to, to show fans what's up.
Mm-hmm.
It's an
And
opportunity to show fans the state.
On the positive side, we got him for cheap.
Yeah.
And if he plays like a third of what he was before, he's outperforming that contract anyway. So you can look at it like that, right? If he doesn't stay, it's no big deal. If he does, and he plays half as adequately as he was, he's already outperformed the contract. So there you go.
Mr. Shepard's in the chat. Benny Smith is also in the chat too as well. Rise up, guys.
What's up, Benny? Rise up.
Joseph Avery is in the chat. Hey, fellas, how are y'all this evening? I think the whole team is going to be better. I can't wait to see our defense. There will be a vast improvement on both sides of the ball. Joseph Avery is a diehard Atlanta Falcon fan. He knows what he is talking about. Big shout out to Joseph Avery here in the chat. Drake's statement said, can somebody tell Mike Florio to shut the hell up and quit crying and quit hating? Man, I tell you that guy.
He hates the Falcons. And I don't know what we did to him, but he has a clear bone to pick with us. Like, I don't know.
Hockey. Let's see. Ricky Smith is in the chat. He said, yo, this was the best move. People ain't thinking about what we would have to give up for a quarterback in the near
Agreed,
future.
Ricky. No, you know what? I think they're just, it's a narrative. It's a narrative that they can paint the Falcons with, and they can eat off this for the next probably 2-3 months. I mean, think, oh, guys, we don't have anything to talk about. Oh, I know. Let's bring up the Falcons again. You know what? Let's talk about this week how Minnesota told Kirk that they were drafting a quarterback, and that's why he left. That's not the reason he left, people. It was 180 million reasons why he left. Had nothing to do with the quarterback being drafted. Okay? In case you didn't know. But the point is, they're going to beat this like the dead horse it is because, again, it's the offseason. And what else do they have to talk about? It's the narrative, right? I can think of 5 other teams that if they did this, there would be nothing mentioned. Nothing. But because it's the Falcons and it's the narrative, right? And today, guys, with Jack's blessing, I want to start a movement. Guys. I want you to look at me, Falcons fans. I want to start a movement. All right? We're starting it today. What's today, Jack? It's Wednesday. What's the date?
It's May the 8th.
May the 8th. Heretofore, May 8th, 2024 AD. I want to start a movement known as Kill the Narrative. It starts today, and it ends when we win the Super Bowl. So every tweet that I tweet out going forward, I don't tweet a lot, but whatever. When I tweet it out, it's going to be #Falcons, #Kill the Narrative, right? And the narrative is 28-3. The narrative is the Falcons can't win the big one. The narrative is the Falcons don't know what they're doing. We're going to kill this narrative, right? It's a new movement. Starts here today. You heard it first. All right, Jack, go ahead.
Falcon fans, hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe button. Just want to take you over here. Big shout out to one of our special guests is going to be joining us next week, Friday. Savion, who's been on the channel here before from New Millennial Falcons. Savion is a guy, like I talked about, the people that study the draft and they study these college players. You got a guy like Savion who also, does a good job writing as well for the Falcons community too as well. But they're already focused on the 2025 draft, right? And these are the type of fans that we're bringing to the channel here. Of course, he'll be here with us next week, Friday, for Breakfast with One Time for the Fan. Right. So be prepared for that next week, Friday, 9 a.m. Breakfast with One Time for the Fan. But even after this draft, you have people in the Falcons community that's focusing on next year. Terry. That's what I'm talking about when it comes to people that is just moving ahead here. Right. Yeah. I mean, we're talking about the schedule. Yeah, we're talking about the schedule release and all that stuff. But yeah, people like Savion that's over there focused on the 2025 draft.
Yeah, on 2025. They're like 2024 was last week, man. Keep up. Keep up.
Travis is in the chat. He said, which rookie has the best chance to start week 1? Which rookie? Trice.
I'm
Trice
going
for sure.
To say Dorless or Trice.
Trice for sure.
One of the two.
Yeah. Trice for sure. Honestly, when you look at that wide receiver core, unless they go out and bring somebody in with these next 3 or 4 guys that they have left available on the roster, Casey Washington could be out there week 1 too.
He could.
We have Kirk Cousins who needs receivers.
Yeah, man. Kirko Chains.
Sheesh. Falcon fans, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Vincent Coker's in the chat. He said, "What's up, gents?" What we got? MacTown Dirty said, "What's Cam's malfunction?" Sheesh.
Man, I don't know.
Talking about Cam Newton?
Yeah, because Cam is always saying something about the Falcons, but you know what it is, MacTown? I think it's unrequited love. Unrequited meaning the love is not returned, right? So it's yeah, exactly. I agree, Jack. I agree. It's kind of like, there's this girl in high school and you've been trying to go out with her and she just shuts you down every time. That is what the Falcons are to Cam. Cam actually put it out there that he wanted to come and play with us. And I don't think Arthur wanted any part of him. I don't know why. I mean, again,
Cam is at a position, Terry, where he always wanted to play for the Falcons.
He did.
And the Falcons never even looked this way.
Yeah.
Right. And even right now at his age, he still believes, I can just be one of the backups here. Well, get off the podcast and go cut a video. You know what I'm saying? Go out a training video. Go show them the Falcons. Maybe you want to show up, be a walk-on. Get your agent to holler at some of these teams, bro. You know what I'm saying? But right now, the Falcons are moving on with Kirk Cousins and Michael Penix. And, of course, a fan like myself, Jack Spade, and a fan like T. Will, too, as well. Bodie is.
I like his show, though. I like his show.
I mean, the podcast is dope. The podcast is cool.
Gotta admit.
Mm-hmm. Big shout out to the Appleton Estate, too, as well, man. The Appleton Estate from Jamaica. Ramel is in the chat. He said, yo, Jamaica. One time. What's happening, fam?
Irie brethren.
Irie man. Bobby D is in the chat. He said, yeah, Trice is a shoe-in for sure. You got a guy that's going to be playing first down.
That dude can get off the ball, man. Mm-hmm. That dude can get off of the ball and get somewhere with bad intentions. Agreed, Ricky. Agreed. 100%. 100%, and it's funny how like the angles change. Like last week it was this, and this week it was he left because of whatever. This thing is going to get so bad. Probably 3 months from now, they'll be like, he left because of the housekeeper. Like it's going to turn into a soap opera, right?
I mean,
maybe not, but
there was a lot of chatter in the Falcons community about, I think it was Nathan Rourke, the quarterback that was floating around in the NFL to probably be a camp body for most teams. But I guess the Falcons put in a request to, bring him down to the camp before he went to I don't know if he went to the Jags or he went to which team you go to? Where's this Nathan Rourke guy? Because Falcon fans were talking about it earlier.
You totally got me there.
You didn't see it, Terry?
I did not see that one, sir.
Man, you're going to love this. Here it is. Adam Schefter reported it this morning. He said the Atlanta Falcons, who signed Kirk Cousins during free agency and then selected quarterback Michael Penix. Matter of fact, let me just put it up here on the screen for you.
Let's do it.
Just make it easy for you. Big shout out to Savion.
It's not a video. We are well within our rights to post it.
Oh, yeah, we're good. Yeah, they ain't tripping on us. All right, Adam Schefter is here in the chat. That's where I'm just playing with y'all. We're using using Twitter right now. So as you can see, Atlanta Falcons, who signed quarterback Kirk Cousins during free agency and then selected quarterback Michael Penix during the draft, put in a waiver claim this week for former Patriots and Jaguars quarterback Nathan Rourke, who was awarded to the New York Giants. And Falcon fans heard that and was like, what? Another quarterback?
Terry and Raheem are like, I'm never going to be without a quarterback again. Ever. Ever.
I don't see Raheem in your contacts.
Where's that comment?
Shut up, Siri. Sorry about
Where's that comment I saw? Where's the Oh, here it is. DraftKings said Desmond Ridder really scared this franchise so bad.
He did. He did. I'm sorry.
That is
Kiki.
tough.
I'm sorry, Kiki. But
that is tough. Desmond really scared this franchise so bad.
For the record, Kiki, I didn't say it. It was DraftKings. I didn't say it.
We love Key. Key loves us. Falcon fans, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. It's going
Kiki
down.
Is funny, man. Kiki is funny. Like I've been watching her in chat. She's hilarious.
Yeah, we're gonna get her back here on the podcast. She's gonna probably get her to jump on a show one time. She can talk some Falcons. She wants to go to Vegas. Well, we're gonna turn up in Vegas. Drake Shoe statements in the chat said Cam also is just hurt because he said Art didn't want him. What you want us to do, Cam?
Art's not even here anymore, Cam.
Sheesh.
What are we doing? What are we doing, Cam? Art's not even here anymore. And besides, Cam, you're doing pretty good, man. I watch your podcast. You're doing all right, buddy. You're doing all right.
Falcon fans in that chat, hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe button. We love talking Falcons football with everybody. Breakfast with One Time for the Fan. Friday morning, 9 a.m.
9
no
a.m.
special guests. Yeah, 9 a.m. 9 a.m. We're going to do it early this week because I have a golf game around 11:30, so I got to be out there take care of some business. But 9 a.m. Falcon fans this Friday in the chat. We're talking Falcons football to wrap up your week. We don't know what the Falcons going to do tomorrow or Friday, but of course we'll be there to talk Falcons football. Ramel said we was going to have more quarterbacks than Jack have Jordans. Shh.
Oh, that deserves a soundboard. That deserves a soundboard, sir. Just saying. Yeah, there we go. Just saying. What I'm saying.
Wow.
Jack, you got a whole room dedicated to your Jordans?
No, I'm actually going through my remodeling phase of that room, so that's why I'm in the now. Nice. Jordans they're stacked up, but Ramel has a good little collection. We were supposed to have a sneaker battle.
A sneaker off.
Yeah, we were supposed to have a little sneaker battle. But Ramel, he got some of them retros from, back in that day, still in the box, which most of mine are still in the box too, but I don't wear a lot of mine. I just collect them. But even at my age, I had 2.5 years ago, I was size 12 and I went to size 13. So a lot of my Jordans I had to get rid of. You know what I'm saying?
You went to a size 13? Does that hurt your foot?
I had to get rid of a lot of my J's. So I had to go through a little phase of changing everything around. But I got a nice little collection over here. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't scared to battle nobody.
Did you grow? Like, why would you go from a 12 to 13? Did you grow? Like,
I don't know, man. It's just it's weird. I don't know.
That is.
I was fitting my 12s for years.
I've been in 11 and a half since I was 15. So yeah, whatever. Okay. Well, I wear all my Jordans. I don't have that many, but those
12s is a good size for J's, but once you get to 13s and like they don't do really 13s and a half and stuff, and most J's are close fitted around the toes, like around like the pinky toe and so forth. So if you don't get the right size, and of course you're gonna be walking around in your J's too as well. Yeah. So I was in Amsterdam walking around my 4s. That shit hurt my feet. Of course, going to most of these games, wearing my 1s. But normally I'm wearing my 8s and shit. But I got my my project shoes I just walk around with, but I don't never bring out my hype beast. That ain't happening. But I got some J's over here that's, Ramel don't want to battle the kid. You know what I'm saying? You can talk all that shit. We don't want to battle the kid, but I got some J's over here, man. But at the end of the day, I'm changing a lot of things. Like I got a lot of golf gear now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to start rocking my Jordan golf gear soon.
I just got some. I got some Nike golf shoes today. Well, they say golf. They're really not, but they say golf. But I got them today, so they're.
Are they the flat shoes? Or they got the spikes on them, or
No, they don't. They don't. Well, I actually have them on, but I don't. They say golf. I don't think they're really golf shoes. But for the purposes of this show, I will display them.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So.
Oh, nice.
So,
yeah, I don't want to talk too much about the sneakers because there's a lot of sneakerheads that might see it and say, "Oh, Jack, you can't battle Ramel and not battle me." Jarnell, the Jaguars fan, who's in the chat, he has a crazy collection too as well.
Well, hey man,
with Jarnell from high school. See, we're going back to the high school days when it came to J's, where you was picking up the sneakers before you went to class.
Yeah, I hear.
So you was late to class because you had to go get the shoe.
I hear that.
So.
The new one's coming out. I hear that.
And then J's come out every month, damn near every week, damn near every day. Hell, there was a shock drop today. I was getting ready to drop a pair, so I was like, let me not do that. But the military blues were coming back out on restock. I was getting ready to grab those. I love my 4s. But, Falcon fans, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. We have the color system. Our color wave is crazy because you can wear, like, the Space Jams with ours. You can wear the damn near the hairs with ours. You can wear the Toros with ours, the 5s. So I love the Falcons colorway with the red, the black, of course, the white, Georgia Bulldog colors too as well. So for the Jordan collectors here in the chat, you could even come out there with the Black Cats, the 4s, you know what I'm saying? So
I think Ramel wants to smoke, Jack. I'm just saying.
He don't want.
I'm not trying to instigate. I don't instigate.
Nah,
But I
he
think
got a nice little
he
collection.
wants
He got a
some
nice
smoke,
little
man.
collection.
I
We
think he
battled
wants some
recently, Terry, in the chat one time. Eric was there one time. We battled recently in the chat. He threw some shoes out. I threw some shoes out. But,
Okay.
yeah, he got some papers over there, man.
My brother's the king of Falcons jerseys.
Eric probably battled somebody in some Falcons jersey. I can tell you that right
Yep.
now. Whole closet full of them. Lisa Shepard said Arthur Blank didn't
Feels
want
like a
him.
shot, Lisa. What?
Is a podcaster now.
Lisa, why does that feel like a shot? I don't know why, but it did. That felt like a shot, Lisa.
Falcon fans, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Dre said, I can't help but feel like with all these people with our name in their mouth, I smell a Super Bowl.
I love it, Dre.
Soon.
I love it, Dre. Hey, man, let's talk about these free agents the Falcons have coming up. That was not a good segue, ladies and gentlemen. That is the way you don't want to do it, but I did it anyway.
I mean,
let's talk about Jack.
We're talking Falcons football. We already mentioned D offer too as well. Tyquan Graham is another player who's playing for a back. You got Ryan Nuzil is another player. Nathan Landman, Drew Dahlman, Storm Norton, Rondell Moore, Richie Grant. Of course, Terrell they're going to take care of. And then, of course, Zoe Carter. So next year, you're going to have the same thing, Falcon fans. Players leaving out the door, players entering the door. It's just how the business is. So
looking at that list, give me your top three of guys that you think we need to retain and the top three that you pretty much say,
Let's take AJ out of it because they're going to take care of AJ.
Yeah, let's take AJ out.
That.
Okay.
D Offord, you have to keep D Offord.
Okay.
I think D Offord has shown up enough to where even before the season, I think you can go ahead and sign, give him a little bag. Nathan Landman is another one.
Yeah.
Nathan Landman definitely deserves a bag here. From what he's played through the past couple of years here in Atlanta, from practice squad being to where he is now, having possibly that starting role or somewhat of it, matching up with, where we're going to put him with Caden Ellis and J.D. Bertram and Troy Anderson. Yeah. And I'm a dog, man. I'm going to say Zoe Carter too as well. Zoe Carter has to fight for that bag this year. I know Falcon fans were kind of upset. Like, where was Zoe Carter last year? It's gonna be a make it or break it season for Zoe Carter. At center, Drew Dahlman. I know the PFF rankings were saying he was pretty good too as well.
The hell just happened? Hello. All right, guys. Well, we're still live, so I guess Jack dropped off. I don't know what happened, but we're gonna keep going.
What in the hell was that?
I don't know, but I was ready, man. I was getting ready to throw some topics out there, and
StreamYard just straight up kicked me. Like I'm sitting here in the chat.
Do we still have folks in the chat? Did we lose anybody?
Nah, everybody's good. Everybody does. Stream is still alive. It's just that StreamYard just randomly just kicked me from the channel. Like, nah, don't mention Drew Dahlman. All right, cool. We ain't gonna mention Drew Dahlman. All right, cool. I get the StreamYard. All right, StreamYard wants us to mention Storm Norton. All right, Storm Norton. All right, cool. Storm Norton.
Yeah, I would say Storm needs to come back. I agree with everybody on your list. I would say Storm needs to come back. All right, so who?
The one time I mentioned Ritter, that my power went out. That one time.
Ritter, as the Dixon way would say, Ritter.
Rid of. The one time I mentioned him, the power goes out. So we're not going to mention his name here on the channel. We don't want nothing to happen. And now Drew Dahlman. Once you mention Drew Dahlman's name here,
don't mess with Drew Dahlman, buddy.
Kicks you out.
Don't you do it.
Dre was here for that too as well. Dre, you saw that the night that we had mentioned Desmond Ritter, then bam, it cut out just like that. Like, oh shit.
Ritter.
And then of course now Drew Dahlman. So we'll put that to the don't say list. We're gonna add those names to the don't stay list. Dwayne Ruff is in the chat. He said, I like Storm.
Yeah,
He's a baller. Storm Norton.
I like low key, I like him a little better than McGarry. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Because he seems to be adequate in the run game. And he's a little bit better in the passing game, in my humble opinion. I wasn't an offensive lineman, but for me, he passes the eye test.
Krinsman,
he does.
Huntsman is in the chat. He said, Dahlman gets too much hate, honestly. Ricky Smith is in the chat. He said, D deserves a bag for sure. Y'all know D been balling out, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know he been balling out.
That's right. What's up, D Ruff? Question. Who do you think is not back? Looking at that list, looking at the same list, who do you think the Falcons say thanks but no thanks? We appreciate your service.
Let's all make it or break it for Richie Grant, Ryan Nuzil, Tyquan Graham. And of course, they're gonna have a couple names too as well. Whoever else they sign going through this 53. But looking forward to next year. I mean, these players got to fight for the bag. Why do we mention that now? Because there's some players on this list this year who's going to be fighting for the bag. So I know you're probably thinking, well, Jack, why would you even mention that list? D. Alford is a player that I want to see get the bag here. Right. And this is a notable contract year for D. Alford. I mean, Drew Dahlman too as well. You heard Krinsman Huntsman. He gets a lot of hate when technically he's been pretty solid here. Right. And he's going to be also a part of this line that's been the same line for the past couple of years. I mean, Bergeron, they added him last year, but you got Jake Matthews, Chris Lindstrom, Caleb McGarry, Drew Dahlman, and Bergeron. It's good to have a little bit of consistency out there with that offensive line.
You got to have consistency. Yeah. No, you have to have consistency and camaraderie. You have to have that mesh. You have to, and it looks like D Ruff wants to smoke. Jack, looks like you have
D.
two
Ruffin?
battles. Yeah. He says, Jack, bring the heat out. I'm bringing mine. So
Dwayne Ruffin has a crazy collection of Jordans too. So you see what I'm saying? And he wants to smoke in Madden too as well. I don't. For Falcon fans in the chat, I know y'all know I'm a good Madden player, but I don't play Falcon on Falcon. I don't do Falcon on Falcon crime.
You don't do Falcon on Falcon violence.
Nope.
You don't do that. You don't believe in it. You don't believe in it.
Nope.
You
Chase is talking about come
Falcon on Falcon.
Even
violence.
Chase hitting me up like we gotta play. I got a couple people that rock around that team area. They're like, yo, we gotta play. Like I don't play Falcons on Falcons.
You're not going to show them 80 on the run, Jack?
No, I'm not playing Falcons.
Not 80
on
on the run. Okay,
it's not happening.
All right.
But anybody wants to play me with a different team, if they want to play with a different team, that's okay. But I'm gonna bust your head. I'm gonna bust your head. I'm telling you right now.
You heard it here first.
I'm like that on Madden. But there are some Jordan heads in the chat. There's some gamers in the chat. They got that college football game that's coming out too as well next month.
Yeah,
so
my brother was
fans
talking about that.
are going to be excited about that. EA college football. That shit is going to be crazy for Falcon fans. Dwayne Ruffin said, Miss Carrie.
Miss Carrie.
Carrie's in the chat. She's enjoying the night. Ricky Smith, them 13s go hard with the Falcons home jersey. Man, I'm telling you, man, it's a damn fashion show when you put on that Falcons jersey. When you going down to the bins, I done seen folks $100,000 chains, $15,000 on the wrist, couple hundred on the teeth.
Speaking
and
of
they going in there
shows,
swag out, man. What's up?
Wasn't there like a Falcons fashion show on their website or something here recently?
I mean, they do it. They do it for game day. So of course, the Falcon players, they're swagged out when they go to the game, right? So they get off the bus and they're walking into the locker room and they take a picture and they post it on. There's a Falcons like fashion room or something Instagram, and it shows all the players with their drip or however you wanted to go ahead and say it, But I think there's some Falcon players that they got some swag, man. They got some swag, But Falcon fans in the chat, hit that like, hit that share, hit the subscribe button as we get ready to wrap up the podcast.
It's bite, man. It's bite.
Drake Shoe's statement said college football is bite.
Spike, man.
Dahmer snaps the ball like a 6-under player.
Oh, shots fired. Oh, Ramel. This is a positive show, but that was funny.
That is tough.
Funny. I'm not going to take that from you.
Bobby D's in the chat. Busan Robinson this year, 1,660 yards. Drake London, 1,400 yards. Kyle Pitts, 1,100. Kirk Cousins, 3,600 yards. Kirk Cousins, 3,600 yards.
No, man, you got to give him another 1,000. You got to give him another 1,000, Bobby D.
That's too low.
You got to give him another 1,000. Let's
Bobby
say
D,
4,600. Let's say 4,600, Bobby D. Got to give him 1,000 more. He averages about 4,200 to 4,500 a season.
Terry, Bobby D got us talking now. Off his comments.
Bobby D.
Look at last year. He was on pace to get damn near probably close to 5,000.
Probably was, yeah.
18-5, 103 rating.
How many games
yards.
was that? That was in like 8 games?
7 or 8 games going to that. Oh, and also I heard today too as well is that the Kirk Cousins against the Saints. His passer rating is 117.
That means he kills them. Just so you know, that's a really good passer rating. That means he kills them.
His passer rating against
Saints,
one team in our division, is 117, or it could be 115. Whatever it is, it's on some shit where we're finna go crazy on the Saints this year.
Yeah, the team we really don't like the most.
But going to our boy Bobby D in the chat, Terry, he said 3,600 yards. Bobby D.
What? Bobby D, this is a barbershop moment. What's going on, man? What's going on, Bobby?
In 2022, 4,200 in 2021.
He'll have 3,612 games, maybe, or 11.
2016, 4,900.
3,600, yo.
36, I can see where Bobby D coming from. 36 was around 2019. That was 2019, Kirk. That wasn't Kirk Frost.
This is Kirk O'Chains.
This is Kirk O'Chains, baby.
Kirk O'Chains. If I had some real bling, I have it up here, but I don't. So just have to do that.
You know, we rocking with Bobby D, man.
Bang, bang.
Bobby D. He's a diehard Atlanta Falcons fan.
Bang, bang.
Big shout out to Bobby D for pointing that out too as well. Because Bobby D wants to see a team eat. He wants to see a team win. He wants to see Bijan get over 1,000 yards on the ground. He wants to see Kyle Pitts get over 1,000 yards in the air too as well. So Bobby D said accounting for Bijan 1,600 yards per game. Kurt won't throw as much as he think, but if he balls out, that's true as well because they're going to rely heavy on that run game this year. The run game is going to be heavy.
But for Kirk to get 3,600, Bijan and Tyler would probably have to run for 1,500 each for that because they, you know, especially with that offense, they tend to throw the ball a lot. So, hey, look, if we end up in the Super Bowl, I don't care. It can be 3,600.
I do see Bijan getting over 1,000 on the ground this year.
Mm-hmm.
I can see,
and maybe Tyler as well.
I would love for that to happen. The way you're going to be punishing these defenses late in the games, third quarter, fourth quarter, where you, like I'm saying, you have the lead, and you just kind of run the clock.
Yeah, let Tyler run that rock, man.
Game management,
let the big fella eat.
Even Jace too as well. He might even have over 5 this year.
Let the big fella eat.
Let him pop out some shoulders. A red zone back too as well. You put Jace in that red zone, that's nasty.
Let's pop out some shoulders, Tyler. Come on. Let's dislocate some shoulders in the fourth quarter. I don't encourage violence. I'm just joking. I don't work for the Saints. A major way. We don't reward for, injured players. We don't do that here. This is the ATL.
Sheesh. Okay. Jake True statement said Kirk getting 4,800.
4,800 indeed. Let's do it. Let's do it. That's good.
Mr. CDX for life. What up? One time for the fan. You right? Trying to see where my fall is going to been spent. Hope Denver is in October for Halloween. So in the past, for Falcon fans that have traveled to the West Coast when they do the schedule release, they usually put the West Coast games together. They don't try to make the Falcons go to LA and then fly back to Atlanta and then go back to Seattle. They'll try to put both games.
What's special about Halloween in Colorado? Is there like
it's usually the October games where they put the West Coast games. So it's possible that it may fall on.
So it's warmer. It's okay. Well,
yeah,
no, that's Colorado. Colorado will not be warm in October.
What's the date? What is Halloween? Halloween's a Thursday, so that could be a primetime game. Could be. Halloween's a Thursday this year.
Another revenge bowl. Sean Payton. We hate him anyway.
We do hate Sean Payton.
That's four. Revenge tour, man. Revenge tour 24. Kill the narrative. Let's go.
Falcon fans, hit that like, share, subscribe button. False Star Falcon said it's only fair if Falcons versus Falcons. Whoever loses can't play with Falcons until they beat the winner with another team, which resets the Falcons Bowl. It's only fair, Jack.
Hey, I like that.
False Start. Hey, if you find somebody in this chat that wants to play Falcon on Falcon, hit them up.
I'm here for
Drop your gamer tag. Drop your PSN. You guys can play Falcon on Falcon. But Jack Spade ain't playing no Falcon on Falcon.
Oh, man. Jack
because some of y'all play fantasy football and all this stuff. Y'all good to pick another team. Y'all, not me. It ain't happening.
Jack says
I will join a Madden league. They will throw me in a Madden league and say, what team you got, bro? I said, I got the Falcons. Oh, somebody already picked the Falcons. Jack Spade has left the chat.
I hear that.
I'm not picking no other team.
Part of his belief system. That's not who he is, damn it. He doesn't believe in Falcon on Falcon violence.
I try to bribe some people sometimes to get the Falcons. I'm like, yo, you got the Falcons? He'd be like, yeah. Like, check this out. So I can give you some merch from Nike, if you let me get the Falcons in that Madden league. They'd be like, you can give me some merch from Nike. I can give you some merch from Nike if you let me get the Falcons in that Madden league. Man, I just picked the Falcons. I want to use Bijan. Yeah, but hold on, bruh. They got this hat. You a Seahawks fan. You just wanted to pick the Falcons. I don't play about that stuff when I jump into these Madden leagues. If I ain't picking the Falcons, it ain't happening. I'm not playing Falcon on Falcon violence. I can't go sack Kirk Cousins with Arnold Ebiketie.
It just wouldn't be right.
It doesn't feel right.
Right.
It just doesn't feel right.
Feels
and I
like
was actually
it feels like you're going back in time and back to the future and interacting with yourself. You're not supposed to do that, right?
I would throw the controller down.
Just feels wrong.
I would throw the controller down. That's just the way I play Madden.
You know, hey.
The boy Thomas Scott said, "T Will back in the control room again. I need you to tell them to wrap up this 285 project." T Will, matter of fact, I know you got a lot going on. What is happening on 285 behind you right now?
Hey, let me take a look at it, Jack. Let me see. Well, it looks like there's a little bit of traffic coming up on exit 675 from 285, but outside of that, traffic is moving smoothly, and I just butchered that. So anyway, but it's looking good, Thomas. Looking good.
This indeed. Is what One Time for the Fan is all about. We're finished with our topics for tonight.
Yeah,
chat is done. Live. Chat is lit. We're going to get to as much comments as we can before we get ready for our shout-outs and we get ready to wrap it up here. I actually have a competition I have to get ready for. Lisa Shepard says, so are we a run or a pass-first team in your opinion? We talked about this the other night with Berto, Terry. Mm-hmm. Identity. The Falcons need to have some identity this season. Mm-hmm. We need to see, are you going to be a run-first or a pass-first team? Because right now I'm looking at a pass-first team because of Kirk Cousins, because of these stats that I just pulled up, where Kirk Cousins has 29 interceptions and 29 TDs, 14 interceptions, 33 TDs, 7 interceptions, 26 TDs, 6 interceptions. Hell, we haven't had that in years. So I'm going to say pass first. But guess what? We have a quarterback coming off of an injury. You have a diamond by the name of Bijan Robinson. You got a gem by the name of fucking Tyler Algier, who you can get down the field with. You've seen both of them. They're a dynamic duo. Mm-hmm. So let's just say the Falcons have, like I said the other night, a balanced type of offense. Because
also you want to run to set up the pass, right? You know, that play action works a whole lot better when you have some guys that can break a few runs, because then the defense has to respect it. So,
but it's not just a run play action like the Arthur Smith scheme. With Kurt, you can do your 2 and 3 step drops and get the ball out on your slant routes and your check downs. With Kurt, you can get the ball out 30, 40 yards down the field because your system that you're running with Zach Robinson, air raid style offense, this type of West Coast offense where you got 3-4 wide receivers running down the field, tight ends going crazy, the Kyle Shanahan style offense they keep talking about, Sean McVay, that system they keep talking about. It's an opportunity to where even Charlie Morton, remember back in 2016 when we went to the Super Bowl, Shanahan had that offense to where the guy off the street that we signed worked at Walmart scored, and then we cut him. You know what I'm saying? Like anybody can score in that offense.
What was that guy's name? Aldrick Robinson? I think he was. He scored a lot of TDs because
there was a lot of players.
He was second string to Julio when Julio went out because he could fly, but he was
a lot of players.
Aldrick Robinson, I think.
That with this offense, Terry, you know this too. With this offense, you can get players eating from Casey Washington to Mooney to Rondale Moore. Some would even say Ray is going to catch a couple passes. Ray is going to catch a couple touchdowns. And this young guy that he talked about, what is it, Isaiah?
When Isaiah somebody.
I got to go and find this kid's name. The undrafted free agent that the Falcons picked up that they're saying this wide receiver could make the 53. It's great that training camp is around the corner because we get a chance to see what the Falcons are going to be made of going forward. And I know Falcon fans can't wait for the open to the public training camp dates. But are we a run first or pass first team? I'm going to say balance this year. Because Kurt, if healthy, 100%, he's going to give you more than 25 to 30 touchdowns and less than 15 interceptions. So then you would say pass first. But Bijan's probably going to have 1,000. Tyler's going to be close to probably 1,000. I talked about it the other night on Berto's channel. Terry, you can back me up here. You should be a top 10 offense and a top 10 defense.
I would agree. I would agree wholeheartedly with that because, guys, we had stars last year, right? Even if you added 5 receivers from the draft, with what we already had, we would be an okay offense. You added speed. You went NASCAR in your additions. This offense is going to be, at worst, very good.
Mm-hmm.
At best, maybe legendary. I mean, they're gonna, and Kirk likes to spread the ball. That's the other good thing about him. He's gonna get the guy who's open. Doesn't matter the name on the back. If you're open, he's going to distribute the ball. So, it comes down to, can we protect him? And to the extent that we can do that, I think we're going to be great. I do. I think the guy you were talking about, Jack, was Isaiah Wooden Sr.
Yes,
Isaiah Wooden Sr. Yeah.
Isaiah Wooden Sr.
He
is
can
a
fly,
player
right?
we'll talk about here.
He's a burner. He can fly. From what I
That's
hear,
him. That's him.
No,
Falcons fans were talking about him the other night. Yeah, we're talking about him the other night, possibly to say that he can make the team. And we have to do our research on this young man coming out of college as a walk-on, going into the Falcons. Hey, I'm all for it. We saw those D. Alford moments, right, where a player who you least expect to make the team makes the team, right? And this is an opportunity for this young man to make it. But you saw with the draft picks and even with the walk-ons, these players get a chance at camp, right? You just can't put. I can't get a fan in here who can give me the 53 right now.
Right.
Even I can't even predict the 53. I can predict some of the starters, but not the entire 53.
Right.
Because you never know who's going to shine at camp. Right. And with camp coming up, open to the public, dates will be coming out. One time for the fan will be there. Thomas Scott's in the chat said, nah, they get to smoke it up in Denver. Yeah, Denver, they get to smoke it up.
That's what they do. That's
Vegas too as well. Michael said one time. What's up, Terry?
Got a question for you.
Yeah, man.
Your favorite Falcons NFL draft to this point, in all your Falcondom fan, and all the years you've been a Falcon fan, your favorite NFL draft?
Probably the year we got Matt Ryan.
For me, it was the year we got Michael Vick, man.
Mm-hmm.
We traded with Tim Dwight. We traded Tim Dwight for the number 1 pick, I think. And we went and got Michael Vick, and I was just like, I was excited. I was excited, but I was excited when we got Matt. But I got to be honest, my favorite was that year we got Michael Vick. Like, it was.
I enjoyed the years of talking shit with a quarterback that I knew was professional and can get the job done.
Oh yeah,
right. And it sucks that we couldn't get that Super Bowl, man, because we was literally right there.
We were there.
I had the opportunity to talk shit in a major way, knowing that my quarterback was going to come out there and slice you up for 300 and 400 yards.
Absolutely.
4 or 5 touchdowns.
First pass of his career was a touchdown.
Yep.
Last
pass of his career here in the Falcons was a touchdown.
Yeah. So, he went out the way he came in.
John Brooks is in the chat. Dixon Way Raid.
All right, Dixon Way, folks.
Here they come. The Dixon Way Raid. CDX is in the chat. Denver, Vegas, same month. Nice. It's possible that they'll put the West Coast games on in the same month, back to back. I went to LA 2 years ago. They had LA and Seattle. A couple years ago, I think it was 2016, we had the West Coast games back to back too as well. Breeze is in the chat with the Dixon Raid. Big shout out to Breeze, 1500 ATL, rise up. John Brooks is in the chat. Dr. Dixon is in the chat. The Blues Physician is in the chat.
Blues Physician.
Dixon Way Raid is in the chat. Birdcage LLC. We got to get Birdcage on the channel too as well. Birdcage LLC is in the chat with the Dixon Way Raid. And then, of course,
the Dixon Way
is in the chat with the Dixon Way Raid. Showing love. Falcon fans got to hit that.
Creator of the Ridder quote.
Got to hit that like, share, and subscribe. But CDX said, peace from somewhere in PA. Rise up. Rise up.
Rise up indeed.
Mr.
Rise
CDX.
up.
Carlo said, Revenge Tour 24. Kill the narrative.
Love it, Carlo. Carlo, that's what I'm talking about. Kill the narrative. Hey, you heard it right here, folks. One time for the fan. Hit that like and subscribe. Kill the narrative. Revenge Tour 2024. Let's go.
Let's push that all year. Marcus Boyd said one time for the fan. Big shout out to Marcus Boyd.
Love it.
Here in the chat. Marcus Boyd, hopefully we can get you on the podcast next week, Wednesday. Y'all got to hear it from Marcus Boyd, because when it comes to the Rise Up Tour fan club, which we've talked about so much, fans that are traveling to games, we had that schedule release next week. the Rise Up Tour fan club is really taking over. We're going into our 7th year here. But Marcus Boyd travels, right? He travels to these games. He doesn't live in Atlanta. He lives in Arizona. When I tell you this man travels from Atlanta to Chicago to Detroit to Houston to LA to London, this man does it all when it comes to being a Falcons fan. So it would be great if we can get LaMarcus Boyd on the channel too as well. But the Rise Up Tour fan club, for those that want to be a part of it, you can see right there, over 1,000 members in the group. We do have a membership group now. So for fans that want to take advantage of some of these discounts that we have on the road, I know y'all probably heard about what we've done on the road with the parties and the events and the meet and greets and the mixers and these private stuff that we do, because we're a fan club, right? So we take care of a lot when it comes to the fans traveling. We want to make sure everybody has a good time this year too as well. And don't forget, we're going to Vegas, we're going to Denver, we're going to Philly, we're going to Minnesota, and fans love to roll with other fans. That's just how we roll. Lisa Shepard said, I met Marcus in London. That story with Marcus too as well. He went from Arizona to Detroit, then from Detroit, I think it was back to Arizona, and then Arizona to London, then back from London to Arizona. That's a Falcon fan. That's a Falcon fan. So for fans here in the chat, for fans that want to travel this year, for fans that want to, if you're going to your first game, home or away, definitely stop by here at One Time for the Fan. We have another podcast on Friday morning, 9 a.m. Then another show we have on Sunday night. And, of course, we have another show next week, Wednesday. T-Will, this has been great here talking Falcons football with you, sir, on the channel.
Absolutely. My favorite things to do, man. One of my favorite things to do, you know?
The tough part is when we got to get off the channel, because we're going to go back into the chat and talk more Falcons football. Like we could have just been here talking it right here on the channel.
Whole time, man. Shout outs. Well, first and foremost, I want to thank God for waking me up. Thank the Lord for, you guys see me every 3-4 days. Thank God for my wife, my mother, my family, my kids, my job, Jack, my friends, my brothers, everybody, man. And for you guys. Thank God for you guys. The fans, the Falcon fans, and specifically the fans of One Time for the Fan. Man, I tell you what, I enjoy doing this every night. Oh, I forgot about that one, Ramel. You're right. In all seriousness, guys, tonight's message is, I don't know if you guys caught the movie Soul Food. If you didn't, we're going to have to talk about your membership as African Americans. But anyway, there's a scene in the movie where the grandmother, the matriarch of the family is not in good health, and she's talking to the grandson, and she says, 5 fingers together can't do a lot. Mm-hmm. But if you put them like this and you make a fist, you can strike a mighty blow. Guys, my message is not going to change all of 2024. One band, one sound. We got to stay together, Falcon fans. We got to block out the white noise. Don't worry about what the media said, because they don't care about you guys anyway, and they don't care about your team. But we do, and you do, and we know we have a great team, right? So let's do this, guys. Every game we can go to, let's do it. Let's cheer it loud as hell. If you can't go to the game, then from your lazy boy TV or your couch or your bed or wherever you watch it, your treadmill, I want you to scream loud as hell. One band, one sound, kill the narrative, 2024, let's go. Let's go. No more outside noise. So you're outside, you're in Kroger or somewhere, you got some idiot that comes out to you, 28-3. Yeah, buddy, heard it all before. One band, one sound, let's go. Jack, I defer to you.
1 cup of rum and coke. This was a great show.
Gary.
Podcast is live. Podcast is lit. Falcon fans in the chat. What we got in the chat? Mills said, like Nick Saban says, don't go for the rat poison. Sheesh.
There you go.
Hey, there you go. This is what it's about. When we cut on the podcast, we go live. I know some of y'all are probably watching the NBA playoffs. Some of y'all are probably watching other podcasts or getting ready for work tomorrow. But at the end of the day, we're all Falcon fans. I do want to thank everybody who's here in the chat and the channel, who's going to be listening and watching the show after. Thank you all from here at One Time for the Fan, because it was crazy. Like, we do want to get to 1,000 subscribers. We want to get to 2,000 and 3,000 and 4, 5, 6, 7. We want to just keep going in the right direction.
Yes.
But we want the Falcon fan base to understand that we are a positive group of Falcon fans that love to see what the organization is doing. Because every time we turn on this podcast, it's about the Falcons. It's about the Atlanta Falcons.
That's
right. And we do know that the season is getting closer and closer. From these pictures with the NFL that you see Kirk Cousins at camp, and you see some of these players, these rookies getting their rookie numbers. Draft is over, and that opening day of free agency has already passed, and we got some players in the building that's going to make something happen this year. So my shout out once again goes to the Atlanta Falcons, because we do this podcast because of you all, right? Shout out goes to all the fans in the chat, because One Time for the Fan is a podcast from the fan for the fans. As you guys can see, the chat is the podcast is about y'all. It's from y'all. We are the fans. A lot of season ticket holders here in the chat. A lot of people don't want to see the team win. But I know Lisa Shepard is going to be at the parade when we win the Super Bowl. I know that. I know Carrie will be flying in too as well. And I just told you the story about LaMarcus Boyd. He's going to be flying in from Arizona. I can guarantee you that. I told y'all the other day, the hardest part after the Super Bowl is going to be getting a spot at the parade. That's going to be the hardest part. Because this is Atlanta. This is Atlanta. It's going to be ridiculous. But Falcon fans in the chat, big shout out to my family too as well. Big shout out to everybody who's been supporting One Time for the Fan. And we want to just make sure that you guys are enjoying the show. But 9 a.m. Friday morning, we're talking Falcons football. Again, breakfast with One Time for the Fan. So set your alarm. West Coast crew, we're going to wake you up again. I know the sun's not even up over there, but it's good to see people from the West Coast in the chat at 6 a.m. talking Falcons football, right? I mean, come on, Terry. Falcon fans talking Falcons football on a Falcons Friday, and then you got fans. The sun ain't even up yet. And they in the chat.
Eggs, bacon, and Falcons.
They ain't even, oh boy, he was in the comments today. He said, I ain't even make breakfast yet.
Love it. Love it.
And y'all live?
Hey, Rooster still, what sound? Cock-a-doodle-doo? Whatever. Rooster's still doing his thing.
Ramel's dropping jokes. We got my boy Jack sounds great on the mic, but to get you a gig with Fox 5 and change your name to Jack Cook.
Jack
Sheesh.
Cook. Jack Cook.
Going down the major way. Them trophies. Bobby D brought up them trophies. I just want to get one, man.
Just one,
man. Get one.
Just one. Just
gotta
one.
happen. To be in that to get invited to that dinner.
Bro, look. Bro, just for me, it's about when that clock hits 0, knowing that my Falcons are the best that year, the best to do it, and nobody can take it back. The copious amounts of shit that I'm going to talk on every Facebook chat group that I'm a part of. Oh, my God. Oh, my. The copious amounts of liquor that will be consumed. I don't even know that I'm going to live to Friday of that week, Jack. But if I do, it's going to be great. I've already told my boss, don't look for me that week. Just don't. Whatever you got to do.
One thing we don't want fans to do is just sit back and just be upset about Falcons making this move and why they going to get this guy. And, you're in the chats, going crazy, trying to argue with other fans about why this guy is good for the team. And Falcon fans, just enjoy your day. Enjoy your weekend. Raheem, Terry, organization, they gonna cook this year, right? They're gonna give the fans what they want, and that is wins on the field. We need to see that. We're gonna see it this year, right? Falcon fans. So hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe button. I want to say thank you all here on the chat. Terry, Friday morning, 9 a.m. Breakfast with One